we need to, at the beginning of the semester, I'm going to go through lessons, 3 types of lessons for an entire semester to teach pronunciation. And we're going to start with diagnosis. We're going to be like doctors. When you go to the doctor, they say, "What's wrong?" And you say, my arm hurts, and they start feeling, and they touch, and they listen, and they do their thing to find out what is wrong. We're going to listen to our students to find out what their mistakes are, what their problems with pronunciation are. And so what we do at the beginning of the semester is we take a piece of paper that has all of the consonants, or what I do anyway, and I think it's a good idea for you too, and all of the vowels. And have each student read the different words. Eat, easy, read, free, me, it, is, did, big, hit. And we listen for those sounds. And we circle the ones that they mispronounce, that they do not do correctly. And so, and at the beginning of the semester, we give each student their diagnosis. And so, student bold in the back of the classroom, he needs, his prescription is to work with the sounds P and F, and he needs to work with the sounds and. So when he came to me on the first day of class, he said, on this line here, he said, fen, fig, happy, stop, math. So we need to work on the P sound with bold. And he said for the, where's F? Where's F? Oh, here. He said pish, prent, before, ip, and white. So we need to work on P's and F's, and he also, like he said, sink, sri, nothing, birthday, whis. Okay, so bold, we need to work on these sounds. And so all semester long, every time we work with pronunciation, no matter what other thing we're talking about, maybe we're talking about simple present endings, walks, runs, wants, etc. Even if we're working on those sounds, he also has to work on p, f, and okay? So each student has their own little prescription because each student is different. And so to practice to help practice those sounds, we're going to do activity number 1. And activity number 1 is discrete sounds, individual sounds. And all we need are 3 things. We need a web browser, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera. We need a software program called Audacity. We need a headset with a microphone, and we need a website. I have my students use the voice function. And here we have the difference between voiced and voiceless. So we have, today we're going to work on the voiced sound, and we're going to work on this one. And what's really cool about this website is that it has the profile, this is your musical instrument. Here's your vocal cords, your tongue, teeth, palate, nose, all of these parts of your body that make and change sound. And if we, make sure my sliders are on. If we click on, we can see inside of our heads what the tongue does, what the throat does to make the sound the. And over here we can see what our face looks like. Okay? So we can look at what our body does, and we can feel, we can try to feel whether we're doing the sound correctly. What's nice about to teach sound is that it's very easy to tell if you're doing it correctly. If you see tongue between your teeth, you're probably doing it right. If you don't see tongue, you're probably doing it wrong. It's very simple, mostly. And what I like to do with my students is I just have them practice. Listen, repeat, with their headphones. So they're not disturbing the people around them. And then I give them homework. Their homework is to record themselves saying this sound 20 times. And not the. They have to be slow. The, and record over and over and over and over again. And so right now what I want you to do is turn your monitors back on, and I want you to go click on the link for activity number 1, put on your headphones, and practice that sound. So what I like to do for my second activity, starting in about week 5, is use the text from our class. Whatever chapter we're on in our textbook, Unit 6, Unit 7, whatever, I choose some new words, and I say, you need to do 2 things. You need to learn what the word means. Use your dictionary, translate it if necessary, and also how to say it. Go to dictionary.com, listen to it, and practice it again and again and again and again and again. So that it's not just new, it's practiced. I know what it means, and I can say it too. And since you were already, you already did some practice with the words when you were doing your N sounds, we'll skip over this activity and go to the next one. After students work with words, I just gave it away. Dang. What comes next? After words, sentences. Right. So the next activity after the words is the sentences. And when we do sentences with the students, we need our website, we need our recording, cell phone, computer, whichever. And we need two different websites, depending on the level of the student. If we have some beginning students to intermediate students, we want to send them to Voice of America News, Learning English. And if we have intermediate students who are very interested in learning more, all the way up to advanced students, we can send them to NPR. We're going to focus on Voice of America Special Learning English. Are any of you familiar with the Learning English Voice of America? So what is special about Voice of America Learning English is that it is for people who are learning English. The vocabulary is simpler, more simplified. The speed of speech for the news is also slower. So it's easier for students who are learning English to understand. Another nice thing about Voice of America, the Learning English page, is that what you read is the same as what you hear. So we can use this in our classrooms because the students can practice their listening and their reading, and we can also use it to help them practice their speaking. So what we can do with our part of the news is we can practice some sentences. So together with my students, we get a handout. And our handout, our paper, has a few sentences. We use different symbols and we use different colors to see the different sounds. Because English is not phonetic. There's not a sound and a symbol together. So let's say, for example, we're going to practice S sounds. S sounds. So we're going to underline all of the sounds, all of the S sounds in our text. So we should underline the S's in Mississippi. So while I'm doing this on the board, the students are doing the same thing. What else? Where are you sure?
Just S.
Just S sounds. So why not flows? It's spelled with an S, but the pronunciation is different.